representatives of the Valley Monitor. The Valley Monitor is made up of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students, and together we explore and learn about our heritage and our culture with the college community.
As Indigenous men from different land to which we gather today, we would like to pay respect to the traditional owners of the sacred land. We are grateful to be living, learning, and playing on the Toowoomba and Yarra region.
Now, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this area, the Yarra people, also the Toowoomba people. I'd like to acknowledge their continuous spiritual connection to the land, the animals, and the waterways. To pay our respects to their descendants today, I want to pray for the beauty of you and give you all a feel of what the spirit of the land is about.
Good afternoon and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Gregory Terrace for round one of the GPS competition as we bring you Gregory Terrace versus TGS in what is set to be a huge first game here in the 2023 competition. My name is Regan Baker. I'm joined by Braden Hesselhurst. Braden, it really is set to be a pretty huge game here today. Both teams bringing back a couple of players from last year, those top grade 11 players that have continued through. And just looking at the way these two teams are warming up, it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, for sure. It's two teams that are probably touted to be towards the top of the competition this year. Obviously, you've got Toowoomba, who are joint premiers of last year's comp, along with TSS and State High, and Gregory Terrace, who are just behind that mix there. So a lot of talent on both sides, a lot of returning players, so it should be a cracker to get the competition underway.
Yeah, we'll definitely look forward to seeing how both these teams come up against each other. Obviously, last year was a really amazing competition for both. TGS being joint winners in a three-way tie at the top of the table, and obviously going to want to try and back that up again here in 2023. But, you know, a huge opportunity to take it cleanly this year, just looking at the way their squad is warmed up. 5 or 6 of the boys throwing down dunks in the warm-up, hitting threes across the board as well. So a very talented TGS side out on the floor, but not to be outdone by our home team, Gregory Terrace. They've got a lot of talent returning from those previous years in the likes of Archie Marshall, Hunter and Phoenix Trago, Jacob Shaw, Paul Papakostas, a whole heap of their talent just continuing through. They were only bottom age last year and did a fantastic job in that competition. So it is going to be really interesting to see how these two sides match up, being that Gregory Terrace, in comparison to previous years, a little undersized, especially coming up against TGS.
For sure, I think what you just touched on there is going to be the interesting battle today. I think for TGS, it's how they're going to cope with the strong guard lineup of Terrace with the Trago boys and Jacob Shaw and other players coming off the bench as well, and mobile big in Paul Papakostas. And for Terrace, it's how they're able to deal with the size and length of TGS, led by Samuel Gow. James Nugent as well is a great player, Rahul captain as well. So real battle of styles from both teams today.
Yeah, we'll wait and see how it unfolds as we get ready here on the floor to tip things off. We do apologise for the slight delay here this afternoon as well, obviously running almost half an hour behind schedule, but a couple of the games earlier today went a little longer than expected in some very tightly contested matches here between these two schools. One game actually ending 44 apiece, and the Open Bees game nice and close as well. But nevertheless, we are here, we are ready, and Toowoomba Grammar are going to get the first run at the bucket. And there is just an issue in the stadium, unfortunately. The game clock was displaying blanks. So we're just going to hold things up here and try and figure out what was going on there as we get a nice quick restart by the looks of it. Everything is up and running again now. So Toowoomba Grammar going to look to have the first run at the bucket here. Gow goes through Paul Papakostas, has to kick it back out to the 3-ball. Nice drive down the center of the floor, but there's a little bit of contact on the side and an early foul here from Terrace.
Yeah, interesting straight away from Terrace with doubling on Samuel Gow's drive. It's going to be interesting there because when Terrace struggled last year was when Paul Papakostas got into foul trouble. So if they can double Samuel Gow and ease the pressure of Papakostas, it could be a bit easier for Terrace on the defensive end today.
Well, TGS are going to have another crack at it now. Nice drive down the center of the floor, and they open things up here early. Great drive down the center there for the number 4, Tamina Garima. Terrace going to want to reply here early on. Ball out on that far 3-point line. Now with the captain, Papakostas, kicks it down to that 3-point line in the corner. Back to the top of the 3. 3-ball is off, but great offensive rebound now for Terrace with another opportunity. 3-ball again. That one goes down.
That's what Phoenix Trago does, and most of the time when you allow an offensive rebound like that, more often than not it results in an open 3. So a big start there from Phoenix Trago.
Toowoomba unable to reply on that run at the bucket. Great defensive rebounds here early now for Gregory Terrace. Ball into the corner. Papakostas tries to spin through, has to kick out to the wing. 3-ball is up and off the side of the rim and ends up getting rebounded there by Garima. I think that was called against Phoenix Trago, so that could be his second very early on, which is not a good sign at all for the vice captain. Yeah, that is 2. So 2 fouls early here for Terrace, and both going against Phoenix Trago. So a little bit of a concerning sign there for him. TGS kick out to the 3-ball. That one's off the back of the rim there. Samuel Gow couldn't quite hit that one. Terrace now. Trago fires the 3 and hits another big bucket there. He may have a couple of fouls to his name, but he's got 3 times as many points.
Yeah, they work really well in tandem, the brothers. Hunter more of a point guard and a distributor, and Phoenix a really good spot-up shooter and scorer. So really need to find Phoenix in transition there, especially after he made one the first possession of the game.
Terrace just going back at it again straight away, adding another 2 to the tally. That one through Corey Laffin. Takes it to 8-2, an early advantage here for Terrace. Bit of miscommunication there. Garima couldn't quite get that pass to land. So early concerns here for TGS. Couple of missed buckets and a turnover as well. Trailed by 6.
Yeah, I think they've been really passive on the offensive end. I think off those on-ball screens, they've been able to get to the paint and they've looked to pass instead of score. I think the one time they scored was from a Garima on-ball and attack the basket, and I think the other on-balls after that, they've been really passive. So TGS just need to address that and be a little bit more aggressive against that on-ball coverage from Terrace.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to have a referee's timeout here just to try and resolve the issues with the game clock in the stadium. It sort of just keeps blanking out and resetting itself. So looks like they're just going to try and fix that one. We are just over 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. But I think you're right, Braden. Like, you know, I think it's just that first round nerves that are sort of getting to TGS at the moment. They're trying to play quick basketball and they're, you know, just making a couple of rush decisions, not necessarily taking the shots that they'd want. You know, when probably the longest player on the floor, or maybe the second longest player on the floor in Giao is taking a 3-ball, you know, that's not necessarily the offense you would want if you're TGS. Yeah,
I think those on-ball looks have been good. I think Terrace are really staying with the roller instead of staying with the ball, and I think they've just been passive, you know, on those drives and look to pass instead of look to score. So I think if you can get the ball in Garima's hands on those on-balls or James Nugent really attack the basket, you know, we've already seen Phoenix Trago in foul trouble. I think they can really do some damage. On the other end, it was interesting to see TGS on a score. They're going back to a 3-2 zone. So that was pretty effective. The way Terrace have scored have really been in transition. So need to be able to execute down the other end so they can get into their 3-2 zone and try and slow Terrace down.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like we've got those issues resolved, so we're going to get back underway here. 8-2 the advantage now for Terrace, with all 6 of the 8 points coming from the vice-captain, Phoenix Trago. And being that he already has 2 fouls to his name as well, that's something that they're really going to want to keep an eye on. Big scoring unit. Don't want to see him sitting on the bench for too long here in this match. Hunter Trago hands it off. Ball moves down into the corner and just stepped out of bounds there. That one is an absolute coach killer through Jacob Shaw, just on the takeoff, stepped back and put his foot on the line. Garima now takes the double screen at the top of the 3, dishes it out. Ball moves continuing down to that bottom 3-point line. A little bit of a tussle there, and it ends up in favor of Terrace, so another turnover for TGS.
Yeah, some extended pressure here from TGS as well, in a bit of a 2-1-2 sort of passive press.
Nice spin move down the center of the floor there from Papakostas. Gets it handed off, but great defense from TGS just to stop it. But a 3-ball again from Phoenix Trago, adding another to his tally. That's 9 for him. Trago goes to work underneath. That one doesn't land. They do manage to come down with the offensive rebound, though. Shaw now hands it off back to Trago. Hunter drives down the center, gets the foul. He'll go to the line for a couple of freebies. What a start here for Terrace.
Yeah, just being a little bit undisciplined for TGS on the defensive end. I think off the ball, coming too far off Phoenix Trago after he's already made 2 threes, and then, you know, inability to stay in front of the ball. I think on the opposite end, you know, to what we were saying with TGS offensively, I think Terrace have done a great job of being aggressive, really attacking the paint, and then either scoring from there or dishing out and finding shooters. So really good start from Terrace to start this game.
Couldn't make either of the free throws on that occasion, and TGS do come down with a rebound. No call from the referees. Playing through at the moment. Captain has to kick it back to Garima at the top of the 3-point line. Screen is set, looks to drive around, but Trago steps into position. Center of the floor drive, that one's off the glass and out, but great O-board and put back there for the big man, Arok.
Yeah, great drive, drew the help, missed the layup, but it took away the rebounders for Terrace, and Arok was able to get the offensive rebound as we see another drive to the rack and a foul there for Terrace. I think the key right now for TGS is their transition D. A strength of Terrace the last couple of years when they've been a bit of a smaller team has been their transition, getting out and running. They're not very big. They get out, they're mobile, they push the pace and try and attack the paint. I think TGS really struggling in that area of the game today.
Well, Hunter Trago makes up for that previous attempt at the free throw line. He missed both on his first trip to the free throw line, makes both on that occasion. Garima gets blocked up high, gets his own rebound though. Great defense from Papakostas. This time he kicks it down into the corner. Baseline drive, no good there from Captain. Sends Hunter Trago on the run again, but he's swatted up high. Great move there from Gao.
That's his strength. That's what he's known for, his athleticism and length defensively. I think down the other end, they need to try and get him involved as well to try and steady this flow from Terrace and get something going on the offensive end.
Terrace now kick it back down to that far three-point line, and another three now from Phoenix Trago. Is that 4 from 4? Has he missed one yet?
I think he missed one early on, but again, it was a guard-to-guard screen. They switched it, and then they sag off. Greener sags off Phoenix Trago, who, like you said, has made 3 already before that. So, again, TGS just undisciplined, and Terrace doing really well at going back to what's working for him with Phoenix Trago three-pointers.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they've called a timeout, so obviously something they're going to discuss in this break here is how they're going to defend Phoenix Trago. He's already on 12 points for Gregory Terrace out of their 16 points in total this first quarter. So, they really need to start shutting down defensively a little bit better, because 16 points in let's call it 5 minutes of basketball. That's a lot to give up, and that's setting Terrace up for a massive win if they can't stop that bleed.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's coming off their poor offense, though. I think, they really want to get their defense set, and they can't do that if they're not executing on the offensive end. So I think that'll be more my focus, obviously trying to pay a little bit more attention to Phoenix Trago, but really need to get something going on the offensive end so you can slow them down and make them take the ball out of the net. So maybe some Samuel Gao touches on the post or whatever to try and get some attacks on the basket. But, TGS really struggling to start this one.
Well, we'll wait and see what they can do coming out of that timeout. It is a very talented TGS team on the floor. So, look, first game nerves, I'm sure they're going to come back out of this break and put something on the board. We'll see if they can do it. Garima is going to start things up here for TGS as they move the ball around the outside of the three-point line. Great screen, opens the lane, kicks it back out to the three-point line, though, to open the drive, and that's better from James Nugent. Yeah, good set there from Coach Ciccolini out of the timeout. Nice little reverse action, good movement, and James Nugent attacks the basket. They need more of that, TGS. Man of the hour, Phoenix Trago steps into another triple. That didn't look clean, straight out of the hands and off the front of the rim. Hunter Trago gets the steal, though, goes to the rack, and that one rolls off the front of the rim. And TGS really need to work on their defensive rebounding at the moment as well. Gregory Terrace getting lots of second-hand opportunities. Managed to get that one, though, to stop that from going again. James Nugent, the captain, leading from the front. Great drive, puts that one down. The captain adds 2 more to the tally for TGS. Terrace, a little bit wayward there, manages to pull it back in control. Hunter Trago now kicks it over to the far corner. Great shot fake. Back into this far corner. Phoenix Trago again for 3. 5 triples for Phoenix Trago.
Yeah, again, he's the only one shooting, so, you're rushing out to other players on the three-point line for Terrace. They're beating you off the dribble and then able to find Phoenix Trago when TGS players help. So, again, TGS just not disciplined defensively.
Nugent straight through the defensive player, gets the block, and it looks like that's on Phoenix Trago as well. So that'll be 3, and instantly you can see him running back to the bench as well. He knows that he's going to get a sub, and that hurts for Terrace. He's been their absolute energy man in every aspect of this game to have 3 fouls so early on.
Yeah, probably the only way for TGS to defend him at the moment is to try and get him in foul trouble and make sure he's on the bench. So lucky break there for TGS. We've seen him in the last couple of possessions have a bit of success out of that middle pick and roll as well with, Garima and James Nugent, and again he's able to find his way to the free throw line. So some signs of life from TGS offensively.
The free throw there from Nugent takes it to 19-9. So still a 10-point advantage, but what a steal. And Arok tries to throw it down, but straight into the bottom of the rim. At this point in time in the game, and this is just a learning curve for the Toowoomba Grammar side. Getting the bucket is what counts. It doesn't matter how good it looks, just get the points. Because all of a sudden, this could now be a 4 or 5 point turnaround by missing an easy layup, and giving Gregory Terrace the opportunity now to continue adding to their tally.
Yeah, don't mind that though from the young fella. Obviously got great activity defensively, went up to throw it down, just had a bit of a flat tire, but he got the steal in the first place, so he gets a little bit of leeway on that one.
This is why I'm not a coach. I'm the hard
a lot of coaches would think the same thing, mate. See, I'm not one to judge dunkers because I could not jump, so...
I don't even reckon I could hit the bottom of the net, so yeah, I really can't judge, I'm not going to lie. Substitutions for Gregory Terrace on the TGS inbounds. Garima goes through, hits the deck, but manages to dish it back out. Long two is off from Nugent, gets his own rebound, puts it down, takes the foul. He'll go to the line for the and one possession. The captain is doing it all.
Yeah, Nugent's really getting them going. I think, that same set offensively, Garima able to find his way to the paint, even though he fell over, able to find Nugent, and he gets another drive to the basket. Got his own offensive rebound and puts it back. So, he's really led the way here for TGS as they close the gap to 7.
And takes his personal tally to 8 as well. So, really doing a lot here for the TGS side. As we see a missed long ball there from Terrace. Garima straight down the center of the key, kicks it out to the wing. Wing three is up and down for Nugent. He is on fire.
Mate, it's Trago versus Nugent so far.
Captain v vice captain. And another triple here, but from a different Trago. This time Hunter adding 3 to his tally. (22) plays 15. TGS unable to convert on that run down the floor. It really has been the battle of the captains at the moment, or the captain groups at least, I should say. Terrace 3-ball. That one is up and off as well. Great defensive rebound there from Tuakura. And a turnover here from TGS. So again, just starting to creep into their game. That's been about probably their 3rd or 4th turnover so far this game.
Yeah, again, though, a great defensive set from TGS. I think some warning signs here for Terrace. I think TGS really grabbing the momentum now as we see Hunter Traeger find his way to the basket again. Can't get that one to go.
Tuakura, a lot of contact on that one down the center of the chest. But referees have the foul, so he's going to go to the line for a couple of freebies. Call is made against the captain, Paul Papakostas, so that'll be his first personal foul.
I do always find that one interesting where they say the hands came down, but why did the hands come down? Was it because they got hit in the sternum first?
Well, and that is literally how you're taught to referee as well. Like I remember going through my training when I was a junior, it was always what is causing the contact, who causes the contact. And I absolutely agree with that one there. Like the contact was down the center of the chest, and the only reason Paul's hands came down, you cop a big body in your chest, and naturally what is going to happen? Your hands are going to fall. That's just the way of the world. But nevertheless, the referees may have seen something that you and I didn't, sitting back here in comfort. 22 plays 16 now after the made free throw, and Nugent goes on a streak and puts down another one. James Nugent takes his tally to 14, the team's to 18. As Hunter Trago misses the 3-ball, but there's a foul off the ball.
Yeah, I think obviously Nugent's been able to get going for TGS, but on the other end, offensively for Terrace, I think they've taken some quick shots and some questionable shots, which has allowed TGS to get out in transition and find their way back in this game. I think when Terrace have gone one-on-one the last couple of possessions, I think it's been against Samuel Gow every time, and he's probably the best defender in the state for his age at the rim. So probably need to pick your poison there and try and find someone else in that situation, because if Gow doesn't block your shot, he's going to affect it and probably make you miss it. So Terrace need to be a little bit more disciplined offensively.
Well, Nugent goes 2 from 2 from the free throw line, taking their tally to 20, now trailing by as little as 2 when the lead was about 12 at one point in time. It was quite significant in comparison, so doing a really great job at the moment of just closing down this gap so they can go into the quarter time break as little behind as possible. Nice move inside here. This time Ethan Sun for Terrace adds 2 to the board, extending their lead up to 4 as Nugent again tries to lead from the front, kicks it down. The man's down there underneath and he gets it in. 2 more there for TGS. Gap closes back to 2.
Good patience from Nugent, able to find his way, be patient against that extended pressure, and then find some players at the back into Akura with a nice layup.
On great hands there defensively from Xavier Rees, just getting the stop up high with 10 seconds to play, or less than 10 seconds I should say. Terrace going to hold for the last shot of the quarter. Hunter Trago wants it, he loses control, so a wayward 3-ball is over the back of the rim, and that rounds it out for the first quarter, 24-22. A huge comeback from TGS, Braden. They were down by quite a significant number. I think it was about 14 from memory. To bring it back to 2, Terrace really just sort of, took the foot off the pedal there in that second half of the first quarter, and obviously losing Phoenix Trago really stinted their scoring.
Yeah, tale of 2 halves, I think, that first quarter. I think, TGS were probably the side that was a bit undisciplined on both ends in the first couple of minutes, especially, on the defensive end against Phoenix Trago and attacking the basket offensively. And I think it completely switched, as you said, when Phoenix Trago went out. I think Terrace started taking some quick shots, not moving the ball as much, and it led to some transition buckets from TGS and obviously James Nugent able to get going as well. So, some interesting questions for both coaches out of this quarter time break. How you deal with James Nugent? What do you do if you're Matt Hamilton-Smith with Phoenix Trago having 3? You probably, most of the time when someone has 3, you keep them out until the third quarter, but I don't know if you can afford it. Can you play a zone and hide him a little bit defensively? So some interesting questions for both coaches in the second quarter.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a really interesting game for the rest of it now as well. Terrace really led strong and, a dominant performance down both ends of the court. They were putting up some massive buckets through Phoenix Trago. He sits on 15. And just defensively as well, they were getting their feet in the paint. They were stopping the shots from TGS. They were forcing those turnovers. But again, when Trago went off the floor, like you said, tail of 2 halves, TGS really just sort of put the foot to the floor and just took off. So, it'd be interesting to see what happens here coming out of the quarter time break, to see whether Terrace has another burst of energy and can really start to take off again, or whether TGS is just going to continue on that momentum shift from that second part of the first quarter and, take over.
Yeah, interesting from TGS with both James Nugent and Samuel Gow not starting the second quarter. Especially after the momentum they had at the end of that first quarter, but got to try and grab them some rest when you can, I suppose. Looks like they might be going into a bit of a 2-3 here. No, they're staying in the man, so.
And straight away, TGS are going to get the first run here now. Tyler Saul just kicks it around to Matthew Holt. Ball moving through the center of the floor now to Akura. Looks to try and drive down the center. Has to kick it out though. Holt, 5 seconds to fire. Drives right. Tries to get into Akura. Misses him. Makes his teammate. That's off. Terrace now with the advantage. They're moving quickly down the floor. Can they get one away? Hunter Trago puts 2 on the board for Terrace.
Yeah, easy way to get yourself going is get out and transition, get some stops defensively, and Terrace able to find Hunter Trago there. I think they really need to play through him, especially when it goes into half court. And I think on the other hand, TGS really needs to play through Captain, which they are now.
3-ball is off there from the big man. Couldn't quite get that one to land. They do make the bucket after the fact, though. Add 2 more to the tally, 26-24. My apologies, added onto the wrong side. We'll fix that up in a sec. 26-24 the score. As we see underneath, Tuakura goes inside again, adds another 2 to his tally.
He's been dominant inside, to start this second quarter. Gets a attack on the basket and an O-board, lets his defender know about it, and then does work in the post as well. So great start for Tuakura and a bonus for TGS with Nugent and Gao on both on the bench.
So 26 points apiece here at the moment.
And another one from Tuakura with a nice spin move there. He has 6 points on the trot to give TGS a two-point break. So great start here from TGS.
Yeah, 26-28. My apologies. I just got to fix up my score, but my mouse has died. I will get to that as soon as I possibly can. So I'll just try and keep you manually updated with what the score is doing. It is 26-28, Toowoomba Grammar in the lead. 3 ball is up. That one is off, though, unfortunately, for Tuakura. Terrace now looking to add some more of their own. The dribble handoff is there. Ball moves back up now. Hunter Trago takes a deep 2. That one's off.
To me, if you're TGS, you've got to find Tuakura again. He's been able to find his way to the basket at will in this second quarter. Good drive there from Tyler Saul, able to find his way to the free throw line for TGS to try and extend this lead.
Yeah, 26-28, so a 2-point advantage at the moment. For TGS, my apologies. Mouse finally started working again.
Gave it some cheese, did you?
Yeah, basically. Took out the batteries, fed it some food, got some fresh ones in there, and we're back online.
Really good start, though, from TGS. If I'm Coach Ciccolini, I'm really happy, obviously, given Nugent and Gao a rest to start this second quarter, and you're able to grab the lead and extend it to 4 now and then get Gao back in. So able to get him rest while grabbing the lead. So a great start there from TGS.
Yeah, Terrace yet to put some points on the board here in this second quarter. We're over 3 minutes into it as well. So having Trago on the bench is really starting to hurt this Terrace side at the moment. They look to move it now. They've got 5 seconds to shoot. Spin move is just off to the left-hand side. Jacob Shaw tips it back into Hunter Trago. Couldn't take the offensive rebound clearly, and TGS comes down with it.
Same set as before for TGS. Grima finds Saul on the drive, and again, Terrace really having trouble with that set that TGS started running at the end of the second quarter. And more free throws coming to try and extend this lead.
Yeah, and Saul went 2 from 2 on the last occasion. So we'll see whether he can do it again. There is going to be a timeout on the floor, though. 26-30 with just over 6 minutes to play. It's been a huge quarter for Toowoomba Grammar, and realistically a huge last 10 minutes, really. After starting quite slowly there in that first quarter, it really has been a massive momentum shift in their favour ever since.
Yeah, I think they just have more of a direct focus offensively, which has been able to slow, the transition down of Terrace. And I think the other end, they're really being more disciplined defensively and able to use their length to cause Terrace some issues. I think Terrace, a little bit lost offensively without Phoenix Trago. I think, I might chuck him on and try and go to a zone or something defensively to try and hide him because, once momentum gets up, it's hard to get it back. So, but even with him out, I think you need to play through, Hunter Trago and get some actions going with him and Paul Papakostas to try and create something, because if you're Toowoomba, if anyone else is creating apart from Paul Papakostas and Hunter Trago, I'm pretty happy. So I'll live with the result from there.
And realistically for Terrace now, it's just trying to find new energy with Phoenix on the bench. And, that needs to come through some of the other key players they've got on the floor. Jacob Shaw, we saw last year, put up some pretty big numbers throughout the season. And similarly speaking as well, Paul Papakostas, he's yet to get any points on the board either. So, the likes of those two guys, and Hunter Trago, he's on 7 at the moment as well. We just need to see them lift, see them looking for opportunities to try and continue to add to their tallies. Otherwise this could start getting away from them quite quickly.
Yeah, but as we saw, last year and even the year before with Terrace, their bread and butter is getting out in transition. And, apart from that first 3 or 4 minutes, they haven't been able to get many stops, which has allowed them to get out in transition. So need to fix the defensive end, so try and get some cheap points out and run in transition.
Well, let's see what they can do here on this offense as Hunter Trago looks to drive through Saul. Pull up, jump shot, too easy, says Hunter Trago, adding 2 more to his tally.
Yeah, smart move there. Has been disrupted by Toowoomba's length at the rim. Able to find his way to the paint there, but stops before the help and gets that little mid-range jumper to go.
Garima tries to get through the center of the key, but great defensive pressure there from Terrace just to force the ball out again. And a travel, so that's a great defensive effort there from Gregory Terrace, forcing the turnover from Toowoomba Grammar.
Yeah, Phoenix Trago coming back on with 3 fouls as well, so expect either a zone or for him to go on, one of the, non-threats offensively to try and hide him and keep him on 3 fouls.
Well, Papakostas and Hunter Trago just exchanging passes there as the shot clock rolls down to single digits. Ball moves to Phoenix Trago, kicks it over to his brother who drives left. Handoff doesn't quite land where he wanted to, but it was a good offensive look there from Terrace.
Yeah, again, Hunter Trago able to find his way to the basket, just unlucky. Laffin couldn't hold on to that pass, but good set there from Terrace.
A bit of a loose offense here from TGS at the moment. They've got 7 seconds to fire. Ball moves through the captain. He kicks it back out to Garima, who takes a 3. That's off the front of the rim, and Paul Paps takes the rebound.
Yeah, good defense from Terrace, able to stay in front of multiple drives, make them force, a contested 3 at the end of the shot clock, as we see Papakostas able to find his way to the basket for his first 2 points. So again, stops for Terrace leading to transition buckets.
Yeah, and it's come out of the back of that timeout as well. We've seen that energy level pick up from Terrace. They've got 2 really impressive stops in a row, as well as adding 2 buckets. And, it's great to see Paul Paps get some points on the board, as well as we see Shaw get a steal off the loose drive there from Garima. As Phoenix Trago hits another 3. It's like he never took a break. He continues to dominate from beyond the arc.
When someone's made 4 or 5 threes in a row, you can't give any space. You got to close out all the way to their body and make him a driver, and Toowoomba just haven't done a good job against that with Phoenix Trago.
Well, if my math is correct, and I'm trying to keep a very loose tally, that's his 6th. He's got 18 points, and as far as I'm aware, that is all in 3s. But pretty much the moment Phoenix Trago adds to his tally, that man comes and does the exact same thing down the other end. The captain, James Nugent, adding 2 more to his total, while also going to the line for an extra 1.
Been dominant so far for Toowoomba. James Nugent, really hard to guard, those sort of lengthy guards, who can put it on the floor, have guard skills, but when they're able to get to the paint and then their defender stays in front, able to use their strength and still be able to score. So really good, first half here from Nugent, able to lead his team offensively.
Well, 33 points apiece. This one's getting interesting as Trago goes inside. Laffin tries to fly that one, can't get it to land. They end up with the offensive rebound though, as Paps now kicks it back out to Shaw. Passes it down now. Ciolo hits a 3. It is raining from deep here in Gregory Terrace. 36-33, timeout to Toowoomba Grammar. Things are lighting up here in round 1, Braden.
Yeah, I think, again, as I said before, I think it's coming off their defense. Their defense has been, much better in the last couple of minutes for Terrace. And I think good hit there from the young fella Ciolo, obviously stepping up to play more minutes this year. Has been a state representative for Queensland and obviously plays his juniors at Southern District Spartans. So confident shot there, stepped into it, ready to go and made that to give them a 3-point lead. So they've been really good. I think, TGS need to try and find James Nugent a bit more. I think him sitting in the corner and playing at the end of possessions can be a bit dangerous, especially when he's been able to get whatever he wants offensively. So really good adjustments from Terrace out of their last time out, as you mentioned, and now it's Coach Ciccolini's turn to make the adjustments for Toowoomba.
Yeah, exactly, Braden, and we'll see how it ends up eventuating here as well. Because right now, like, it's just been a game of, you know, realistically, each quarter has 2 halves. You normally hear about the game of 2 halves in an entire game of basketball, but this is kind of every single quarter has 2 halves. You know, with this one, TGS came out really dominant in that first part. Now it's Terrace's turn to start picking up a couple of extra buckets, adding more to their tally, and they've taken back over the lead. And, you know, right now, like I keep saying it, but Trago has been that energy man for Terrace as well. He came back on the floor, hit a big 3 himself. Paps got involved, got a bucket. Hunter got another bucket. And all of a sudden, you know, we've got a much tighter game on our hands. No good on that look there for Toowoomba Grammar. And there's a foul on the floor as well. It is going to be a block. Just didn't quite get his feet, my apologies, into position in time. So Garima picks up that defensive foul. I think it's only his first, so no major concerns there for him. Just checking out the floor to make sure there's no sweat on it. And Shaw's going to bring it in now for Terrace. I know they're just going to quickly wipe the floor. My apologies. So 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Jacob Shaw to bring it in for Gregory Terrace. Ball now with Ciolo. He goes one-on-one with Nugent. Kicks it back, Shaw to Ciolo. Thinks about the 3, kicks it down into the wing. 5 seconds to fire. Terrace needing to make something happen here. Deep 2 is off the back of the rim and rebounded easily there by Giao. And James Nugent, I think, read the pass a little bit too early and ended up popping that ball in the face. Just didn't quite have the mitts ready.
Shouldn't have had that popcorn at the last break. Hey, nah, good push there from TGS. James Nugent, unfortunately, couldn't hold on to it, but good defensive set and good push in transition.
Terrace looked to go to work again underneath, unable to convert on that occasion. They do get the offensive rebound and have another crack at it. Laffin couldn't get that one to land either. Can Paps make attempt 3 go down? He can.
Yeah, Paul Papakostas doing a really good job. You know, the first person to try and nullify Gau's length with those pump fakes. That's what you got to do against the length of someone like that, who's so good at, you know, contesting shots vertically. Got to be able to get him up on shot fakes and try and get him to the foul line. So great job from Papakostas there.
We go to line for the extra one as well as they lead by 5. Makes the and one as well. TGS ball in the corner. Yeah, looks to drive now, has to, spin move, fires it away, it's off. Paul Papakostas, 2 more to his tally. After having a very quiet first quarter, he has come out firing in the second. He now sits on 7.
Just really smart drives there from Papakostas, as I said. You know, the last couple of possessions, able to get Giao in the air and get his way to the basket. And then on that one, had Tuakura on his hip. Creates the contact by, you know, just going in a little bit, creating that contact against Tuakura, who fouls him and finds his way to the free throw line for an and one. So Papakostas just, can you call someone a veteran when they're at school?
I mean, he's been in this team for the last 3 years. So
I feel like you can.
When you're in the first 5 teams, 3 out of 5 of your senior years, I feel like you can call that a veteran. So 42-33, the second part of this second quarter has been all in favor of Gregory Terrace, as Laffin has to pull up at the free throw line, has his pocket picked by a rock. Garima now, head down, but just pulls out, starts to set up the offense here as a wide open 3 ball opens up, but it's off from Captain. Shaw comes down with the defensive rebound, gets it up the floor to Ciolo. into that far corner. 3-ball is off there from Laffin. Garima, again, nice controlled offense, pulls it back, gets it to Captain. Captain's ball rolls out of the rim as well. It's almost like someone's put Glad Wrap over the top of the rim. Nothing at TGS seems to be shooting at the moment goes through the bottom of the rim.
No, it's a bit helter-skelter at the moment. Both teams just getting a bit trigger-happy in transition. Really need to settle down and try and find some better opportunities offensively.
Garima's 3 is off as well. Rebounded by Iraq, though. They'll have another run at it. Nugent puts the ball on the floor. His shot is off as well. It's about 7 or 8 shots in a row now from Toowoomba Grammar that have gone wayward. So 9 points the advantage at the moment for Gregory Terrace. I'm going to try and use up as much of this clock as possible. And it goes down. Hunter Trago, 2 more to the tally for Terrace.
Yeah, really smart move there from Hunter Trago to finish the half. Knew the clock, knew what he needed to do, got to his spot on that pull-up jumper. That's his bread and butter, and able to finish the half there for Terrace with another bucket to get him an 11-point lead. So just smart point guard play there from Hunter Trago.
Yeah, it's been a really great game so far. Both teams just leaving nothing on the floor. 44-33 after Toowoomba Grammar led early on by 6 in that quarter. And, you know, scoring just dried up there in that second part of it. And Terrace just really just took off and left everything that they could behind. You know, it's been a great first half of action. We've got about a 10-minute break, so we're going to take a quick rest. But stay with us, and we'll be back with the second half of action from Gregory Terrace in just a moment. And we're going to have a foul here to open things up for TGS as well. This time it's going to be James Nugent again going to the line for a couple of freebies. He's done a very dominant performance underneath, kind of hitting shots a little bit from everywhere, but also doing a really amazing job from the free throw line as well. So we'll see what he's able to deliver on this occasion.
Yeah, key to being a good scorer like that is not only having sets run for you, but finding your own way to the basket off other opportunities such as offensive rebounds and getting out in transition and stuff like that. And Nugent's done a great job of that for Toowoomba. As I said, that first set for Toowoomba, they had that shuffle cut and Rahul Katzen got a layup. We'd love to see him, once they score off something like they did in the, towards the end of the first, start of the second, go back to what's working until Terrace show me that they can stop it. So, want to keep seeing TGS attack the basket here.
Well, Nugent goes 2 from 2 from the free throw line to take his tally to 20. He leads all scorers in the match so far today. As Terrace look to go on the reply. It's currently with Hunter Traeger, who takes on Nugent, kicks it down in the left-hand corner. 3-ball is up and down. Terrace continuing to dominate from deep, this time through Logan Ciolo.
Yeah, huge hit from Ciolo. We saw him make one towards the end of that second quarter. Able to hit another one from the corner off that Hunter Traeger find. So with Phoenix Traeger on the bench, if he can provide that sort of outside perimeter threat, it'll be huge for Terrace's offense.
Nugent looks to drive down the center of the key, dumps it down underneath, and Tuakura adds another 2 for Grammar.
Yeah, been really good inside the paint. Nice, calm, has a good touch around the basket as we see Papakostas find his way probably to the free throw line, I would assume. So both teams able to attack the paint at will to start this third quarter. Not much defense, keeping them out of that painted area. So I would assume whoever can start playing defense on that end and keep people away from the basket will try and make a run here in the third quarter.
Well, Papakostas makes his first. The second will take his tally to 10. And it takes Terrace's tally to 49, so a 10-point advantage once more here for Gregory Terrace. Last time they led by as much as 12. TGS managed to pull their way back into it. So let's see what they can deliver here. They look to move the ball down underneath to Tuakura. He can't get it away, and Traego hits it into the captain and gets the turnover.
Yeah, great hustle there from Terrace. I think TGS looked a bit rushed. There, Tuakura has been dominant, when he's been able to attack from the post. I think he needs to look to be more aggressive there rather than looking to pass first.
Papakostas, 2 feet in the paint, dishes it out to the wing. 3-ball is off and into the pocket of Nugent. Garima now, dribble handoff. They look to go inside. Tuakura again attacks the paint. That one's off the back of the iron and into the hands of Papakostas. Passes up now. Hunter Traego turns on the Jets. Can't get there though. Has to kick it back. Jacob Shaw thought about the 3. Kicks it back to the wing. Terrace moving the ball nicely now as Hunter Traego pulls up for a Jimmy. That's too strong and misses everything. It's Garima. He turns on the Jets and travels through the key.
Yeah, good push there, but good defense from Jacob Shaw. That's his bread and butter defensively. Obviously, I had to coach him a couple of years ago for Logan under 18s, and his strength is one-on-one defense, being able to wall up, use his strength as a guard, and keep people away from the basket. So great defense there from Shaw.
Hunter Traego has Nugent tightly on him. Looks to go left, breaks around, step back Jimmy. That's off the back of the rim and out. Gao comes down with the defensive rebound now for TGS as they look to break this 10-point deficit. Dribble handoff, Saul now. 3-ball is up. It looks good. It is good. 3 points. Toowoomba Grammar closes the gap back down to 7. And the reply instantly by Gregory Terrace, adding 3 of their own. This one through Logan Ciolo. He goes back to back with 3s for Terrace. Lead is back to 10. teams exchanging buckets from deep at the moment.
Again, love that side pick and roll with both Gow setting it and James Nugent as the ball handler. As Toowoomba able to force a turnover there from Terrace, but love that action there from Toowoomba, able to get Nugent going downhill at the basket. Finds an easy layup. They need to go back to it over and over again. Keep playing it until Terrace can show they can stop it.
Yeah, he just continues dominating across the floor. He's on 22 points at the moment. He's doing a fantastic job from deep, from the free throw line, from 2-point land. He's hitting just about everything he takes. So we see another 3 land, this time through Samuel Gow. Adds his first points of the match.
Yeah, that's big. He's obviously been pretty quiet on the offensive end there, but able to find a 3 to go from the perimeter. So big hit for Toowoomba if they can get Gow going offensively.
Shaw looks to drive himself. He puts one up and in as well. Jacob Shaw adds 2 to the tally and his first points of the game as well.
Yeah, again, his strength on the offensive end is those straight line drives. Able to use his strength again, take the contact and find a way to the basket and go to the free throw line for an extra. So, again, not much defense being played from both teams at the moment, Riggs.
No, well, it's been raining threes down both ends of the floor, and, you know, when you don't have a hand in your face and you're on that 3-point line, you know, why not take it? So, you know, at the moment, like we said, it's been an interesting game in many regards. It's been, you know, a tale of 2 halves every single quarter. It's been patches of really, really strong defense from both sides, but right now, you're exactly right. There really isn't a lot of tight defense.
Yeah, I think mainly one-on-one. You know, I think closeouts have been a bit not lazy, but inactive, and people are able to settle into that rhythm and hit shots from the perimeter. And then their ability to slide their feet and stay in front of someone one-on-one hasn't been great either. So both teams need to be able to address that defensively, as Nugent again in transition and flexes on the Terrace bench.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the most points we've seen a GPS player put on the board, because he's on 24, so he's putting their names up there with one of the top scorers, that's for sure.
I think Roman Cialipa had some 40-point games last year, so he's got a fair while to go.
Yeah, I don't think I got to see a single. He was a state high kid, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I got to see a single state high game last year, because I don't think either TSS or Gregory Terrace had state high at home. So I'm kind of disappointed I didn't get to see more of him. Though I did get to see him absolutely dominate at the at the schools championships down on the Gold Coast and put on, what, 52 points or something in the grand final?
Very dominant.
And Nugent again just continuing to go to work underneath, adding 2 more to the tally with the and 1. The kid has got moves down both ends of the floor.
Yeah, again, the difficult thing for me is, you know, both teams, I think they've been able to allow, you know, whoever's been hot at the time to just get multiple buckets and multiple opportunities, you know, rather than when someone's getting hot like Nugent is now, like Phoenix Trago was in the first quarter, make someone else beat you. And right now, Nugent's able to do whatever he wants, find his way to the basket at will, get to the foul line at will, all right? More help, force it to someone else on the Toowoomba team to try and beat you from the 3-point line, because right now, you know, Toowoomba were facing a double-digit deficit. Now it's back to 2, all from Nugent on the offensive end. So Terrace need to do a better job on that defensively.
And realistically, it's just a reply from what TGS did to Phoenix Trago. You know, he's still sitting on 18 points, but right now Nugent has managed to get his tally up to 27. So it's been a very, very big swing. Trago's been shut down, but right now Nugent just seems to be able to do whatever he wants offensively. So you're exactly right. They need to find an answer and a way to stop him from getting 2 feet in the paint and getting those easy buckets underneath. There's a foul here underneath from Gregory Terrace. It's getting called against Ethan's son. Didn't exactly see what happened in front of me, but by the looks of it, he was just hooking and knocked Garima to the ground. Toowoomba Grima just going to take a substitution as well. Garima checking out. Yeah, couldn't get that one to land. Hustles hard to try and get the offensive rebound, but ends up tipping it into the hands of Ciolo. Trago back to Ciolo. He's got Gao on him. They look to go inside. Ball dishes out. 3-ball. Up and down. Threes from everywhere. This time through the hands of Corey Laffin.
Yeah, great ball movement there from Terrace. Had the seam on ball, able to find the roller, and then he's able to find the shooter on the perimeter in Lafferty. As Terrace almost forced a turnover, but just great ball movement there, and a great pass from Paul Papakostas to allow Lafferty the room to make that three.
Yeah, I think the entire coaching and bench staff from Gregory Terrace are adamant that that came straight off a TGS player and never hit a Terrace hand. Referee is just coming to discuss it as well. So we'll end up seeing what decision we've got. I wasn't really paying too much attention, to be honest, Braden, so I'm not too sure, but they are going to overrule it and give it in favour of Terrace.
Can I ask a question? I'm not going to criticise.
Yes.
How's the ref closest right next to it, and then this one down here in the corner of the opposite end is the one who adjusts it?
Yeah.
I'm just asking the question. I'm not criticising.
Look, I can't give you an answer that you're going to like, but essentially it shouldn't happen, especially when you're right in front of it. Anyway, back onto what's going on here. Basket counts and one possession. Gregory Terrace taking off. Paul Papakostas adding two more to the name. Gregory Terrace, 59-52. Timeout to Toowoomba Grammar. It's a 7-point advantage at the moment for Terrace. But TGS just hanging around. They keep clipping at the heels and got it back to within 2. But Braden, Terrace just, they saw red. They saw danger, and all of a sudden they've just ramped things up to the next level, and they've taken it back out to 7. Yeah, 2
turnovers in a row from Toowoomba, which has led to 2 buckets from Terrace, able to push this lead out to 7. And, we see it every time that Terrace seem like they're in trouble. It's one of their leaders in Phoenix, Trago, Hunter Trago, or Paul Papakostas trying to get that momentum back for Terrace. And Papakostas there with a great steal and finish, able to get his way to the basket, make that, and go to the free throw line for an and one. So their leaders really standing up every time the going gets tough for Terrace.
Well, it's going to be an interesting close to this third quarter, that's for sure. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to play. 7-point ball game, and Papakostas going to the line for an extra free throw. He's done a really great job after having a quiet first quarter. Actually, it was more than just the first quarter. It was a quiet first, probably 15 minutes for Papakostas, where he hadn't really put a point on the board, but in the last 13 minutes or so, he's really started to dominate underneath, adding 12 to the tally so far. Potential to add an extra 1 and take it to 13. So, just great job. Obviously recognizing he was a little bit quiet, feeding his teammates are doing a good job. But now with obviously Phoenix Trago taking a bit of an extended break on the bench before, he recognized that there was an opportunity to step up, and he really capitalized.
TGS went back to the offensive set that worked for him so well in the first half. Unfortunately, on that one, Sol rejected the screen. Ethan Sutton read it, able to stay in front and draw the charge. So good defense there from Terrace, but on the other end, TGS need to be able to use that screen, force 2 people to the ball and work off that rather than trying to reject it and going straight into the defender.
Paul Papakostas, ball on the floor. Couldn't get it to land, but will take the foul and go to the line for a couple more free throws. Gao arguing the case that he was up straight, but referees obviously didn't see it that way, and they're going to send Paps to the line for a couple of freebies.
Yeah, again, Paul Papakostas has done his work getting to the basket, so on that occasion, a rock just needs to be able to stay in front rather than jumping at the shot fake and allowing Papakostas room to attack the basket. So we see Coach Ciccolini sub a rock out. Probably Tuakura getting the job now on Paul Papakostas. Need to be able to keep him out of the paint, force him to make some jumpers because he's done too much damage near the basket for Terrace.
Well, 60 plays 52. Toowoomba Grammar in control of the offense at the moment. Garima has to pick it up, hands it back to Tuakura. He's been a little quiet this quarter so far. Couldn't land one on that occasion either. As we see Trago pull up for the jump shot. That was a little bit strong and out, straight into the hands of Samuel Gow. Ball into the corner. Long ball is up for the three. That doesn't land, and all of a sudden Sun is on the run and puts two home easily and almost takes out the photographer.
Yeah, good rebound there from Terrace, able to get out in transition. Nice run there from Ethan Sun. I think TGS really need to get James Nugent back in. Every time he's gone out, the lead's ballooned out. Now it's at 10, danger time with only a minute and a bit left in this third quarter.
Yeah, we saw them do it at the end of the first quarter. They really started to, ramp things home a little bit, add a couple of extra points on the board to close down the gap into that quarter-time break. But they're certainly leaving not a lot of time to close things down. 10 points is pretty big to try and bring back in the fourth quarter. So hopefully they're able to add a couple more now before the break. But Terrace is just doing a really great job defensively at the moment and offensively as well. That's 2 in a row now for Ethan Sun, taking the advantage to 12.
Yeah, everything at the basket for Terrace. Great execution from them. Great cut from Sun. But on the opposite end, TGS just not great defensively at the moment.
Yeah, and Terrace defensively, just the complete opposite. They're doing a little bit of everything. And what a finish through traffic on that occasion.
Yeah, I think they've picked up the energy defensively, able to stay in front of people, really use good physicality, walling up with their chest, force turnovers from TGS and able to get out in transition. As we see another great finish there from Hunter Trago. But again, 14 points. James Nugent comes back in now. A big task facing Toowoomba to try and get back in this game. What about the coach, mate? The extra effort.
Getting out of the floor, wiping the floor.
Wouldn't see assistant coach Roger Smith do that. Too high profile, mate, the former NBL player.
Trago's and one is successful. Takes it to 67-52. 15 points is going to be a big deficit for TGS to try and pull back in the in the final quarter. Garima just hands it back to Akura, gets it back and kicks it out. Nugent, the captain, let's see what he can do. He tries to roll through, but such strong defense forces the travel. That is great defensive teamwork there from Logan Ciolo and Corey Laffin to get the stop.
Yeah, we spoke about earlier, the first team to be able to play one-on-one defense and stay in front of drives is going to be able to get the run. And at the moment, it's Terrace doing a great job walling up, as I said before, forcing turnovers, and TGS really struggling to execute offensively.
Hunter Trago goes around the screen, pulls up for the Jimmy. That one's off the side of the iron and into the hands of Terrace. Garima gets it up to Turakura. Can he fire one in time? He does. He lands it. The siren goes and they close it out to 54. A 13-point deficit coming into the final turn. Braden, is it too much for TGS to pull it back, or do they still have it in them to get it back?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they've come back from double-digit leads, double-digit deficits multiple times in this league, in this game, sorry. The one early, in the first couple of minutes of the game, and then I think, they started the second half down double digits and able to find their way back, and I think either tie it or be down 2. So really needs to be able to execute offensively, though. There are too many turnovers there in the third quarter for TGS, really forcing the issue off limited passes, trying to force their way in, off the dribble. Terrace doing a really good job walling up, and on the other end, everything was at the basket for Terrace. I think they hit 1 3 or maybe 2 threes that quarter. The rest were layups. So TGS really need to fix that. The attacks on the basket defensively and try and execute better offensively.
Yeah, well, there is a lot of time left in this one. 13 minutes. It definitely can be done, and we've seen TGS pull it back as well. In that first quarter, I think it was about 12 points they were down, and they managed to pull it back to within 2 points. by the end of the quarter time break. So, look, there is lots of time left on it, but right now we just need to see them continue to play a bit of a better defensive game to try and stop Gregory Terrace from getting 2 feet in the paint. You know, they've stopped some of those 3 balls late in that third quarter, but right now it's, you know, it's the likes of Paul Papakostas, it's Hunter Trago getting inside and adding points underneath. Ethan Sun as well had a couple of nice drives down the center of the floor as well. So, you know, offensively, they're doing a pretty good job. They've had a bit of a rough run recently with some tough bounces off the rim, but you know, as a whole, it's more than just offense that wins you a game of basketball. Defensively, they just need to continue trying to match up on Gregory Terrace, force him to take more rush shots than what they did in that third quarter. About to get underway, and just looking at the stats in front of me, it looks like James Nugent leads all scorers. He's on 27. Closely followed by Tuakura, well, I shouldn't say closely followed by, but followed by Tuakura, who's on 12. And then down the Terrace side of things, looks like Phoenix Traeger will still lead with 18, closely followed by Hunter Traeger, his brother, on 14, and Paul Papakostas on 12. So a couple of players there in the double digits, with Logan Ciolo not far behind on 9.
Good execution out of the quarter-time break there from Terrace. Saw coaches, the Terrace coaches having a bit of a laugh after that layup down the other end. So obviously a design play out of the break, and then able to follow it up with a turnover as well. So great start here from Terrace. Worrying signs from Toowoomba as we see him in a bit of extended pressure.
I was reading stats. Who got the bucket?
Couldn't see who it was, but it was
Terrace.
It was definitely Terrace. It might have been Xavier Rees. I think number 20. I think he got his way to the basket. So nice little set there from Terrace to start the fourth quarter. Thought someone was doing footloose in the charge circle there for a second.
I mean, that is one way to dry a floor. Probably not the most efficient way, but it is a way. Now that you've said that, I expect to see some footloose from you in your game tonight if you have to get out on the floor and wipe up some sweat.
Definitely not, mate. I think we'll see the crowd leave and exit Cornubia if that happens.
I'm going to come just to see it. TGS doing a really great job of moving the ball here. Gets it to Nugent inside. He adds 2 more to the tally. 71-56, still a 15-point deficit at the moment for Toowoomba Grammar. Ciolo unable to connect on that 3-point attempt. Ball now in the hands of Garima. Need to see some energy here from Toowoomba Grammar if they're going to try and close down this gap a little bit, and that will help. Tuakura goes in underneath and adds 1 to his title. Yeah, 2 people I'm playing through if I'm Toowoomba is James Nugent and Tuakura. I think he's been dominant when they found him in the post, able to find his way to the basket. I think the last set, Nugent had a great drive with a couple of seconds left on the shot clock, but it took 20 seconds to get the ball to him. I think, you know, when you're 13 points down with just over 8 minutes left, to me, I'm starting with Nugent, having the ball in his hands and letting him create. You need some easy opportunities and then letting the others do work from there. So a little bit of sign of life from Toowoomba offensively, and they've been able to restrict Terrace defensively the last couple of possessions as well. So on the other end, Terrace need to be a bit careful here. I think Hunter Traeger was able to find his way to the basket multiple times off on balls, and they've gone away from it the last couple of sets. So need to go back to what's working. Good to see Phoenix Trago back out on the floor here as well, as Nugent just again walks his way into the keyway and adds another 2 to the tally. That's 31 for him, 71-60. And just like that, it's an 11-point ball game here at the Campbell Centre. Yeah, great set from Toowoomba. Found, as we see Lafferty with a corner 3 there, that arrests the momentum a little bit there for Terrace, but great action on the last set from Toowoomba. Found Nugent early, he puts it on the floor as they go to it again. Yeah, Laffin's been a great open court shooter. When he finds that opportunity, He's had a really nice looking shot. I mean, he's only got 8 points to his name, but every shot he's taken has looked really clean. So you can tell that he really recognizes when he's open and he just fires those beautiful shots.
I don't think I've ever seen a lefty shooter, or a lefty that doesn't look like they have a good shot. I think they always, even if they don't make it, they always look like they got a nice stroke. So Lafferty able to make another one there from the corner.
That has surely got to be a charge, and it absolutely is. Garima was planted for days and absolutely wiped out by Hunter Trago. Please tell me the photographer was underneath that. I think he was too.
Good old Ross Barton, he'd be there.
Yeah, that'll be a shot and a half. He managed to get that on camera. Trying to work out what Toowoomba's coach is asking for.
Same.
Because, I mean, they got the foul. I don't know what else he could really be asking about at the moment, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think that last set for Toowoomba, they ran the same action on that pick and pop from Nugent. Last time he was able to find his way to the basket. This time, Terrace did a good job sagging off a little bit and protecting the drive. He's got to be able to catch and shoot that. You know, he's been able to get to the basket at will. Now they give you the space to shoot it. Have the confidence, young fella, to step up and knock it down.
Well, we are going to restart here with Gao in the corner for Toowoomba Grammar. 74 plays 60. Terrace just continuing to hold their heads above water and in the lead every time TGS look like they're going to start clipping away at it. They take off again. You see Saul go to the rack. There's contact up high. A lot of shouts that was clean, but referees had it differently. Got the foul. So Tyler Saul's just going to go to the line for a couple of freebies.
Yeah, I think he's been good for Toowoomba, giving him some little spurts offensively. Needs to be able to knock these down, but been able to find his way to the basket multiple times, hit a couple of threes, so he's been good for Toowoomba.
Yeah, he's got 6 points to his name. He's been a little bit hot and cold from the free throw line. He missed his first 2, made the second 2, missed those 2. So, you know, he's doing a really good job of sort of getting 2 feet in the paint and attacking the bucket, but just needs to be able to convert on those free throws and those open opportunities. Hunter Trago again tries to go to the rack. This time he gets the block. The kid has no fear. He gets a solid meter off the ground, takes the contact and hits the deck. Just absolutely fearless.
Yeah, has really good handles too, able to, you know, create space at will, going off on balls or one-on-one. Would like to see him go off 2 feet those last couple of drives. I think, you know, you get your way to the free throw line, that's great, but I think at times you can risk refs not calling that because you're out of control yourself. I think being able to find his way to the basket and go off 2 feet, he's got a nice floater as well, so maybe just being a little bit more balanced on those so we can make the most of those opportunities.
Well, he goes 2 from 2 from the free throw line. Takes his tally to 16. A 16-point advantage as well for Gregory Terrace here over Toowoomba Grammar. We see Garima find a path to the bucket, tries to go inside, can't get it there. Offensive rebound and put back from Gao. Doesn't go down either. My apologies, that was a rock. So Terrace now look to go on the attack again. A healthy 16-point lead with 6 minutes to play. Toowoomba Grammar desperately need a stop here, but Papakostas kicks it into the corner for Trago. His 3 didn't connect. Papakostas with the offensive rebound, dishes it back to Laffin. 3 ball from Hunter Trago is off as well and cleaned up by Samuel Gao. Yeah,
Toowoomba need to get going here a bit quicker, get into their actions a little bit quicker. You got 16 points with 5.5 minutes left. Nugent, another great drive here. Need to be able to get the ball to him quickly and try and create some easy opportunities and put some pressure on Terrace.
Trying to run out of space on my paper to put his tally for scores. He just needs to slow down a bit. Share the love. Where's my Samuel Gao dunks that I was promised in the warm-up? Which, is credit to Gregory Terrace in that regards as well. Like, coming into this one, just looking at the way Samuel Gao was warming up and some of the action I've seen from him in the past as well, and obviously last year for TGS, good kid, good drive. He's strong underneath, but Terrace has done a really good job of stopping that penetration in underneath and keeping him out of the paint.
Yeah, I think I'd look to try and get him in some, on-ball screens with James Nugent, so you kind of lose that connection a bit, try and free him up. But, yeah, as you mentioned, Terrace has done a great job against him.
See, I want to see that shot taken as well. Harry Scobie checking in. He was open underneath there and, just tried to be a little bit unselfish and handed it off when realistically he should have taken the shot himself. Speaking of taking the shot yourself, Phoenix Trago adds another one. He has hit only 3-pointers in this match so far.
Yeah, that's what he does. When he gets hot too early, he can continue it for the whole game. I think I've had a couple of games with him in under-18s where he's had, multiple 40-point games just from being able to get going at the three-point line. And once he does that, he's a great athlete too and able to find his way to the basket, but hasn't had to do that against Toowoomba because they haven't been able to close out to him and find him at the three-point line. So great find in transition from Terrace and great hit there from Phoenix Trago. Now a 17-point lead with 5 minutes left.
Yeah, and 7 3-balls from Phoenix Trago. I'm doing pen and paper stats, so I don't know how many he's actually taken, but I'd say he's only probably missed 3. So he's probably clipping it 70% from the three-point line as well. He missed his first shot of the game, and then he's maybe had 2 misses ever since then. But just shooting at such a high percentage from beyond the three-point line. It's been a really incredible performance to see, and 4 people from Gregory Terrace as well in double digits as well. So it's been a really great, sharing the load. So it's not just 1 or 2 players going out and trying to do everything, which, has been the challenge here for Toowoomba Grammar, because realistically everything has been done through James Nugent. Kian Tuakura has done a little bit as well. He's on 14 points, so he's had a pretty good clip too, but they just haven't had those, player number 3, number 4, stepping up, adding plenty of points onto the tally as well. So Nugent's really had to try and do everything himself.
You see Terrace doing a good job really hedging off other players to stop those James Nugent drives. So good adjustment there from coach Matthew Hamilton-Smith as Terrace able to get another turnover from Toowoomba there.
Yeah, just doing a really great job defensively, I think I don't think I'm going to get crucified for saying that in the first quarter they were very lackluster defensively, but they've done a pretty brilliant job here to step up and just really force Toowoomba Grammar to take a couple of risky shots, and ones that they're not comfortable with, as we just see another 3-ball from Phoenix Trago. At this point in time, if he doesn't hit 10, I'm going to be disappointed in his performance because he's on 8.
Yeah, good drive there from Gregory as well, able to draw the foul off Jacob Shaw, but as we see so many times when someone gets hot from the perimeter, even when they have an ugly one, it hits the board and goes in there from Phoenix Trago. So 20-point lead now, going to be hard for Toowoomba to get this one back.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit challenging, unfortunately. And like you said, Gregory Terrace has just done a really good job defensively. And, that help defense is always stepping up to stop those drives, especially from James Nugent. And, to his credit, he leads all scorers in this match by a significant margin. Really talented player, but can't do everything himself. And Terrace has recognised that he's the danger man and has just been able to stop him in his tracks here in this fourth quarter.
It's their bread and butter. Once they're able to force stops or get turnovers from Toowoomba, Terrace really able to push out and transition. And they've been dominant here in the fourth quarter, being able to run the floor as we see him get going again.
Laffin, unorthodox, wasn't able to get it to land either. Papakostas over the top of James Nugent, puts it back in for another 2 to take his tally to 15.
Unorthodox is a nice way of saying travel there, Egan.
Well, look, I was trying to be polite. And a foul here from Terrace as well. So it's going to be Toowoomba Grammar ball on the baseline. Nope, free throws. Nope, baseline. I don't know. Who knows what's going on anymore.
Third time you'll get it right, mate. Have a crack.
Well, I saw the referees point at the baseline, but then James Nugent was adamant that it was free throws. Who knows? Saul blocked up high by Papakostas, lands in the hands of Trago. He's got a rock on him, goes himself. It just doesn't quite get the friendly roll into the net, but he'll go to the line for a couple of free ones.
Yeah, a couple of these guys out here today are kind of experts at being able to draw the contact and get their way to the free throw line. I think it's been really smart. I think people like Hunter Trago, James Nugent on the other team, Paul Papakostas as well, done a really good job of being able to initiate contact, get the defense out of position and get their way to the free throw line. So something you usually see from players when they get to an older age, but really good signs and good smarts offensively from some of the talents out here today.
Hunter Trago hits his first. Second one rattles around and out. Papakostas just couldn't quite get there to save the rebound from going out of bounds. So it's going to be Samuel Gao taking it in from the baseline. 3.5 minutes to play, 87-62. A big advantage here at the moment for Gregory Terrace, and one that I would assume Toowoomba Grammar isn't going to be able to pull back.
The funniest reactions are when anytime you see a quick shot from Terrace, just look over at assistant coach Roger Smith. It's priceless. Used to get those looks about 7 years ago. Oh, no, it's longer than that. 10 years ago now.
Papakostas, 2 feet in the paint, couldn't get that one to fall. Ends up in the hands of Grammar.
Nice find.
And a great finish there again from Nugent. I keep saying in the previous years when I've done volleyball here for Gregory Terrace, I can't remember the coach's name, but Gregory Terrace's coach for their volleyball first 6, he's a laugh. He's a great time. We've always said, all the commentators have always said, we just need a coach cam. Maybe we should get one for Terrace basketball as well.
I like it. I like it. Get it on Smitty. Yeah, and as we finish this game, I think the big thing with this competition is one loss can really hurt you, but if you can find your way, you can also still stay in it. We saw that with Toowoomba and the other teams last year. So I think the key for them going forward, James Nugent's going to be able to get what he wants offensively. I think Toowoomba is a really good player as far as being strong defensively and have a nice touch around the rim. I think the key for them is going to be how to get Samuel Gao going offensively, because if he can get going, it really opens up the floor for Nugent and the other guys as well. I think that's what they probably struggled with here today. I think, even when they've gone to the post and given it to Gao from the post, I think his strength is his quickness and athleticism, and he's looked to back down people rather than making quick moves and then elevating over the top. So we'd love to see him catching the post face up and use his athleticism to attack the basket quickly. So some adjustments that Toowoomba can make going forward. I think, the lead's 22, but I think Toowoomba have shown some really good signs. And on the other end, I think the improvement from Terrace, we've seen so many times last year, Reegs, where they really struggled early on in the game and they had to come back from big deficits.
Yeah.
I think today they've shown really good improvement in that area, and even when Toowoomba made runs, they were able to answer back after timeouts, and coaching staff did a really good job of making adjustments, and they've been really impressive here today as well.
And I don't know whether you're going to be able to answer this question, because it's not something that I've ever really been privy to. Coming from the GPS system, how do players go about that next level? So moving into the college system, what does that look like? When 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, 30, 35 points for James Nugent, for example, 21 from Phoenix Trago, shooting 8 3-points. What does that process look like in terms of looking forward to college scholarships and moving over to the US?
Yeah, well, I think they start doing the feelers if they're in year 12. Start doing those feelers, early on now. You look to sort of go across, this time next year if you can, but you can also have a year in between and go the following years. So, players like James Nugent, the Trago boys, and that if they want to go over to the States, we'll be looking at sort of making that jump now and get some interest from colleges over there. I think. The thing that's changed now is it's really accessible to anyone. 10, 15 years ago, it was, the top of the top that were really had the only chance to go over. I think everyone has the ability to go over now because there's so many different leagues and different divisions and stuff like that. So they'll be looking at making that transition now. You obviously got some American tours you can go on too, which, some people are at now with the Oz team playing AAU over there and stuff like that. So, plenty of avenues for players to try and get over there at the moment.
Well, 87-69, an 18-point lead now for Terrace. They couldn't convert on that occasion. Ball moves up the floor now, and a foul from behind there coming from Corey Laffin. So it's going to be another couple of quick free throws here for TGS. James Nugent going to the line.
Yeah, on the other hand too, Regs, I think it's a really good point too, like having a lot of young, players in our NBL 1 squad that college isn't always, the best option for everyone as well. I think, making sure you keep your options open as far as, whether it's NBL 1 here or, NBL DP spots in the next couple of years or WNBL for girls and stuff like that, because sometimes, college isn't everyone's cup of tea as well. So,
well, I could barely look after myself now as a 31-year-old, let alone as an
Exactly.
18-year-old moving to the other side of the world without being able to work.
So, yeah, I think that's the key, is just making sure people keep their options open, get everyone to do their research and make sure you're in a comfortable situation. So, I'm sure we'll see some players from both teams make that jump next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And an interesting unsportsmanlike foul that we saw just as we were chatting away. Incidental contact from behind, but yeah, clear path rule. So a little bit of an unfortunate one. It was obviously just a little bit of lack of awareness of position. So an unfortunate one, but that one was upgraded for Corey Laffin, picking up the unsportsmanlike foul. And 2 free throws made by James Nugent just to close the gap down a little bit now to 16 with just over a minute to play. And like you said, Braden, there are so many good pathways now within Australia as well. Like you look at the NBL 1 competition here in Queensland as an example, and the wealth of amazing young talent that we currently have coming through. It just goes to show that you don't necessarily have to go overseas in order to make that leap into the professional league. There are so many amazing opportunities here at home.
Yeah, definitely. I think I think most clubs are putting more emphasis on bringing those juniors through to the seniors now as well. I think the more we do that, the more we give them opportunities to have the pathway here if they don't want to go over to college. So, yeah, plenty of opportunities both in NBL 1 or, different things around Australia as well, and then going to college if they prefer that route. So, I can remember when I was a junior, there was hardly any really pathways unless you were one of the top of the top, which I definitely was not.
Well, yeah, I sort of remember it the same way. Like, I don't remember a lot of pathways being open back when, we were sort of coming through. I think I'm a fraction older than you are, Braden, and yeah, there really weren't that many opportunities at a junior level. Not that I was a player, I was sort of coming through the referee pathway, but it wasn't something that you really heard of or those opportunities talked about. So, basketball in Australia as a whole has just come leaps and bounds from what it was 10, 15, I mean, for me, like 20 years ago when I was a junior. It's really amazing to see what's happening here on a local level. Cheeky foul underneath there for Keon Tuakura. Going to send Archie Marshall to the line for a couple of freebies here with just over 30 seconds to play. Marshall hits the first.
Been a big week for Coach Ciccolini too from Toowoomba. Just got back from coaching the under-16 Queensland South boys at the National Championships. So I'm sure he'd love a bit more time to prepare next week, and I'm sure he'll get this team back on track going forward. But on the other side, I've been really impressed with Terrace, as I spoke about earlier. I think one of the ones that's probably been an issue for them in recent years has been their starts and allowing teams to get out to double-digit leads and everything, and I think they've done a really good job starting strong today and then able to deal with momentum flows and that better than previous years. So they look strong to tip off this GPS competition.
Yeah, and I think another big thing as well is just not letting teams get those runs back at them. Terrace came out absolutely firing early on. I think it was like 16-4. Was the score early in that first quarter with like 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go or something. And then all of a sudden they just let Toowoomba Grammar really come back into it to make it a 2-point ball game. So, they just need to work on little things like that to stop teams from coming back at them. And, if they can continue coming out of the gates fast, putting on big leads early on, then they can sort of, just pull back a little bit towards the end of the game and not have to keep fighting through. And the reality is you can't let teams like you know, like your TSSs, for example, that we're talking about before the game off air, you cannot let them come back into a match like that because they can run rings around a lot of teams in this league. So, you know, an amazing performance, 90-71 the victory here for Gregory Terrace. But, you know, there's always room for improvement. It's just those little things for Terrace to work on. And for Toowoomba Grammar, similar sort of thing. You know, I think the one thing lacking for me was just having a second, third and fourth player sort of step up to add to that tally.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, that was the area we spoke about before. I think Samuel Gow's probably that guy. They need to find a way to get him going. As we spoke about with Terrace, really good job. I think you know, I think addressing the issue with, you know, allowing someone like James Nugent to go for so many and get them back into games when they had double-digit leads, as you mentioned, when you go against the likes of TSS, State High, and those type of teams. If you let, you know, Jalen Pittman's, the Ben Tweedies, the Roman Cialipas of the world get that run going, they're going to be awfully tough to stop, and they probably have some more scorers around them. So once you let them get going, it's going to be really hard to stem the flow offensively. So I think they'll be looking just to address their discipline on both ends of the floor, but a good start today from Terrace.
Yeah, well, just looking at my pen and paper stats, which are probably wrong
The old
considering
Norton Crosses, mate, eh? The old Norton Crosses.
The old Norton Crosses, as I'm trying to commentate and assist with graphics and scoring and doing other bits and pieces. Looks like James Nugent ended on 37, Kian Tuakura ended on 14 for Toowoomba Grammar. And down Gregory Terrace side of things, Phoenix Trago led the way on 24, Hunter Trago 17, Paul Papakostas on 15, Logan Ciolo 11, and Corey Laffin 10. So 5 players, all of them starting 5, ended up in double digits. So an immense performance around the board there for Gregory Terrace. And at the conclusion of the song here, we will leave you with some highlights from the match. A huge thank you to my entire team here for bringing this production to you on Clutch TV. Jaden Bowen, our producer, Henry and Zana, my 2 camera operators, Braden Hesselhurst, my co-commentator, and myself, Regan Baker from the stream team. Thank you so much for checking in. We'll leave you with those highlights and see you next week as we bring you GPS Round 2 live from the Campbell Centre.